Have you ever noticed your knees ache more after dinner, or that your fingers feel stiff when you wake up? Even though you didn't do anything strenuous the day before, you chalk it up to aging. But what if the real culprit is sitting quietly on your plate? Most people over 60 don't realize that certain everyday foods, yes, even so-called healthy ones, can quietly inflame the joints, erode cartilage, and leave you feeling years older than you are. The worst part? You may have been eating these foods for decades without knowing the damage they're doing behind the scenes. Now, joint pain isn't just uncomfortable, it can steal your independence. It makes it harder to walk, bend, garden, dance, or simply get out of bed without groaning. The good news: once you know which foods to avoid, you can take back control. And when you cut them out, something incredible happens. Your joints start to feel lighter, more flexible, and yes, even younger. In this video, we're going to reveal 4 common foods that quietly destroy your joints after 60. You'll learn why they're harmful, how they sneak into your diet, and what you can eat instead to feel better every single day. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's dive into the first food that could be doing you more harm than good. Let's start with the one that almost everyone has in their pantry, and that many seniors reach for every single morning without a second thought. Food number 1: white bread, the soft destroyer. No, you might be thinking, white bread? I've eaten it my whole life. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous. White bread, sandwich rolls, bagels, pastries, anything made with refined white flour can quietly fuel inflammation inside your joints. Why? It all comes down to something called glycation. When you eat refined carbs like white bread, your blood sugar spikes. That triggers a reaction in the body that forms something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Think of AGEs like rust. They attach to your tissues and make them stiff, brittle, and inflamed. That includes your joints, cartilage, and the connective tissue that keeps your body moving smoothly. Worse, white bread contains almost no fiber, which means it digests quickly, spikes your blood sugar faster, and leaves you hungry again soon after. That cycle of inflammation, hunger, and poor nutrient absorption keeps your joints in a constant state of low-grade stress. Now, imagine your knees are like soft rubber door hinges. Bread doesn't just make the rubber stiffer, it throws sand in the hinges too. Over time, they creak, grind, and eventually break down. That's what white bread does inside your body. What to do instead? Switch to sprouted grain breads, like Ezekiel bread, or 100% whole rye or oat bread with no added sugars. Better yet, try using lettuce wraps or collard greens for sandwiches, or making homemade flatbreads with almond or coconut flour. These not only lower inflammation, they can actually help rebuild healthier tissue. And if you can't give up toast completely, add healthy fat like avocado or almond butter. That slows down the sugar spike and gives your body joint-friendly nutrients. Now, if bread is the soft destroyer, our next food is the crispy, crunchy villain hiding in plain sight, and it's one many seniors eat thinking it's a tasty reward. Food number 2: French fries, the golden trapa. Fries, golden, salty, and comforting. Whether it's from a drive-thru or baked at home, French fries are a go-to comfort food. But here's the harsh truth: they are one of the worst foods for your joints, especially after 60. Let's break it down. First, most fries are deep-fried and cheap. Inflammatory oils, usually soybean or corn oil. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which tip the body into a state of chronic inflammation. That inflammation doesn't just show up as puffiness or bloating. It goes deeper into your joints, your knees, your hips, silently eroding the cartilage that cushions your bones. Second, fries are made from simple starches, which break down into sugar almost instantly in your digestive system. And just like white bread, that sugar leads to spikes in insulin and glycation, those nasty AGEs we just talked about. But there's a third, even more sinister element: acrylamides. These are chemical compounds that form when starchy foods like potatoes are cooked at high temperatures, and yes, they're toxic. Studies show that acrylamides can accelerate oxidative stress and inflammation throughout the body, both major drivers of joint pain and arthritis. The worst part? These effects aren't immediate. You won't feel a sharp pain the moment you eat a fry. Instead, It's like a slow leak in your tires. Every meal adds a little more stress, a little more wear and tear, until one day, your knees scream just from climbing a step. So what can you do instead? Try roasting sweet potatoes or carrots in olive oil and turmeric. The sweet potatoes satisfy that craving for something starchy and savory, while turmeric helps reduce inflammation. You can even slice zucchini or eggplant into sticks, bake them till crispy, and sprinkle on a little sea salt. Tasty, satisfying, and joint-friendly. If you're craving that crunch, try air-fried vegetables or make your own root veggie chips in the oven. And remember, it's not about giving up all joy, it's about swapping joint-destroying foods for choices that keep you pain-free, mobile, and strong. Now that we've talked about bread and fries to common comfort foods with not-so-comforting effects on your joints, it's time to look at another everyday item that sneaks into breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and wreaks havoc with every sip. Let's move on to the third joint-damaging food. And this one might surprise you because it's not a food you chew, but something millions of Americans sip on every single day. Some seniors even think it's better than soda, but in reality, it may be even worse for your joints. Food number 3, diet soda. The bubbly betrayal might reach for a diet soda thinking it's a healthier option. No sugar, no calories. What could go wrong, right? Unfortunately, a lot. The main culprit here is the artificial sweeteners, especially aspartame and acesulfame potassium. Studies have linked these sweeteners to increased inflammation in the body, especially in the joints and connective tissues. In people over 60, where inflammation is already more common, this can quietly speed up the destruction of cartilage and increase stiffness in your knees, hips, and fingers. Worse, diet sodas can trick your brain into thinking you're getting sugar, causing an insulin response without the actual calories. Over time, this confuses your metabolism, increases cravings, and contributes to weight gain around the belly, another huge factor in joint strain. But that's not all. Diet sodas are also acidic, which can leach calcium from your bones, weaken your skeletal system, and leave your joints more vulnerable to damage. One study even found that older women who drank diet soda daily had significantly lower bone density in the hips. It's a double hit: weaker bones and more inflammation, exactly what you don't want. After 60. So what can you sip instead? Try sparkling water with fresh lemon or lime slices, or unsweetened herbal teas that fight inflammation, like ginger, turmeric, or rooibos. Another great option: homemade infused water with cucumber, mint, and berries. It's refreshing, joint-friendly, and gives your body the hydration it needs to keep cartilage soft and healthy. If you miss that fizzy feeling, kombucha or seltzer with a splash of tart cherry juice can satisfy your craving and deliver antioxidants that actively protect your joints. And now we come to the fourth and final food, a sneaky joint saboteur that often shows up in your freezer or at the deli counter. It's salty, processed, and delicious, but your joints might be begging you to stop. Food number 4, processed meats. The inflammation bomb. Think ham, bacon, sausage, pepperoni, deli turkey, and frozen meat patties. These processed meats are loaded with preservatives, sodium, and additives that keep them shelf-stable but also fuel chronic inflammation, especially in the joints. One major offender: nitrates and nitrites, which are added to preserve color and flavor. These compounds have been shown to trigger oxidative stress, which damages cells including those in your cartilage. Processed meats also contain high levels of saturated fat, which can raise levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, a well-known marker of inflammation in the body. The more CRP in your blood, the more inflamed your joints are likely to feel. And let's not forget sodium. Excess salt dehydrates your joints, making them less cushioned and more prone to grinding and stiffness, especially if you're not drinking enough water to compensate. You might notice that after a bacon-heavy breakfast or a deli sandwich lunch, your fingers feel puffier or your knees ache more than usual. That's no coincidence. So what are the joint-friendly alternatives instead of processed meats? Try lean, unprocessed proteins like wild-caught salmon or sardines, rich in omega-3 south that fight inflammation, or jank chicken breast, baked or grilled with anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric or rosemary, lentils, beans, or tofu, Great plant-based protein options packed with fiber if you love sandwiches. Try shredded rotisserie chicken, mashed chickpea salad, or grilled portobello. Mushrooms as the filling instead of ham or bologna. And season your meals with herbs, spices, and lemon juice instead of salt-heavy marinades. Remember, your joints don't just need less inflammation, they need more nourishment. Whole, unprocessed foods do both. They calm inflammation and deliver the nutrients your bones and cartilage crave. Let's recap the 4 joint-destroying foods to avoid after 60. White bread causes blood sugar spikes and forms AGEs that stiffen joints. French fries, fried in inflammatory oils and loaded with acrylamide distillate soda, filled with artificial sweeteners and acid that weakens bones. Processed meats, full of nitrates, salt, and fats that fuel joint pain. Cutting back or replacing these for foods can feel like a small shift, but for your joints, it's a giant leap toward less pain, more movement, and a longer, more independent life. You don't have to overhaul your diet overnight. Start small. Maybe swap out white toast for a slice of sprouted grain bread this week. Then trade your usual lunch meat sandwich for a veggie wrap with grilled chicken. Little by little, you'll start to feel the difference in your knees, your hands, your back, even your energy levels. And if you're thinking, I'm already over 60, is it too late? The answer is absolutely not. Your body has an incredible ability to heal even after decades of wear and tear. When you stop fueling the fire of inflammation, your joints begin to cool, your tissues begin to rebuild, and the pain that once held you back starts to fade away. Final thought: aging doesn't have to mean stiffness, swelling, or joint pain. Not if you know what to avoid and what to nourish your body with instead. So take back your plate, one bite at a time. Your future self, walking tall, pain-free, and vibrant, will thank you. If this video helped you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone else over 60 who deserves to move and live without joint pain.